Hi everyone, I'm here to show you a really quick and easy project on how to make these stamping plate sleeves. A lot of stamping plates don't come with an organizer, and so if you just store them in a box like I do, they'll just be kind of hitting each other and rubbing up against each other, and I don't really like that. I've made these out of cardstock, and today I'll show you how I've made them. What you're going to need for this project is some cardstock. I have some bright colored cardstock here, and I also have some patterned cardstock. You're also going to need a ruler, a pencil, scissors, some adhesive. You can use dry adhesive, or you can use some wet adhesive. I've used this glue just fine and it's worked perfectly. It just takes a little bit longer to dry. You'll also need the stamping plate that you need to make the sleeve for. So let's get started. The first thing I have here is just a piece of cardstock that shows you what the basic idea is behind this. You have a piece of paper that is going to fold over, and then you're going to have these little tabs that fold also in. If we look at this sleeve here, you can see it is one long piece of cardstock that is folded, the fold end here, and also on the inside there are these little tabs that are glued underneath that hold it and secure it. To begin, we're going to go ahead and measure out our stamping plate right here. I'm going to be measuring in centimeters just because it's a little bit easier for me with my little bit of math skills here. So this is a square, so it's just 5.5 centimeters squared. I'm going to write that out so I don't forget. Okay, now according to my little diagram here, you want to add half a centimeter just for a little bit of allowance along the edges here between the edges of the cardstock. You also want to add 1 centimeter on each side for these little flaps that are going to fold under and help secure it. So you're going to be adding 2.5 centimeters to your total. That's our width. And then for our length, you're just going to double the stamping plate length and then add half a centimeter. Okay, so this is going to be the dimension of our rectangle. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this piece of cardstock. I've chosen to use this little star thing. I'm going to flip it over so we can see the white space on it here. And I'm going to measure out 11.5 centimeters. And then I'm going to go ahead and measure out 8 centimeters. So this is what we have. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this rectangle. So the next thing that we need to do is add this 1 centimeter allowance on each side for the flaps. I'm just going to go ahead and measure in 1 centimeter on both sides and draw those in. So there we have the little 1 centimeter seam allowances here. The next thing we need to do is draw in this fold line, and basically you're just going to take your length and divide it by 2. So in this case it's going to be 5.75. The next thing we need to do is go ahead and fold along each of these lines here. I'm going to take my ruler because it has a nice straight edge and just place it along one of the lines and have it help me fold. As you can see, it's right on the fold. I'm going to do that to the other two. So now you should have something that looks like this. You're going to take it and you're just going to make sure that you crease it pretty well. You can just crease it with your fingers, or you can take something like your scissor handle and just really burnish it. Like so. right, like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut these two along the line. So you have these two. This is going to be the part that folds up, and these are going to be our flaps. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut the edges at an angle to reduce some of the bulk. Like that. At this step, if you don't have a circular hole punch, you're going to want to draw in some guidelines so that you can cut out this little recessed area. I am using a nail polish bottle. I'm just going to stick it on there, hold it, and I'm just going to trace around it. Just like that. Cut that little piece out. Like so. Then fold it over. Trace it so you have the exact same line. And when you fold it back up, they should match up pretty nicely. The last thing to do is just go ahead and put some adhesive on these sides right here so we can close it up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my dot adhesive here. You can use whichever adhesive you'd like. This one's just a little bit faster for me. Alright, fold those flaps over and close it. And there you go. I'll show you how it looks here. You can also use these measurements to make a sleeve for something a little bit longer. You just want to make sure that your piece of paper is as long as double the length of your stamping plate. Let's go ahead and measure out this plate here. Do a little bit of math here. Alright, so for the width, we're going to go ahead and add 2.5 centimeters. Which makes it 8.2 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and double this number, which is 23.4 centimeters. And then we're going to add half a centimeter. So we'll be at 23.9 centimeters by 8.2 centimeters. And that is the dimension of this rectangle that we'll be using here. So I've chosen to go ahead and use this brightly colored blue. I'm going to first measure out 23.9 centimeters. And I'm going to measure 8.2 centimeters. So we have one long rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I have that cut out. I'm going to go ahead and add our 1 centimeter allowance on each end for these flaps. So those are drawn right there. Our next measurement is going to be for this fold line here, and our measurement is 23.9. I'm just going to go ahead and measure out 11.9 and see if that will be good. So I'll just measure here and then measure again to see if I have the same measurement, which I do. Now I'm going to go ahead and just cut these. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the little diagonal slits here. And the last thing I'm going to do is fold. You can fold before you cut these, or you can fold afterwards. apply your adhesive. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and just use my hole punch now since I have one. Just like that. Now we'll test fit. Here's my stamping plate. And there you go. So this is what we are left with. We have the little square one and the rectangular one. I hope you found this video helpful and that these tips are useful for you. If you do decide to try this, let me know and tag me on Instagram or leave a comment down below, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!